Hey everybody, Yankee here. I want to come on here today and talk about a story I was just reading. It was a story about Kyle Rittenhouse and the NRA. Now, before I go into this story, I want to say I am not in any way assuming how anyone feels about Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't care how you feel about Kyle Rittenhouse. A jury found him not guilty, so that's really the only thing you got to understand. And if you think he's a demon who should be in jail, that's fine. I don't care. If you think he's a kid that was in a really bad situation and did what he had to do at the time, that's fine too. You feel the way you feel. You believe the way you believe. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I tend to lean more towards the latter. But like I said, I'm not an expert on the situation. I'm not wanting to deal with Kyle Rittenhouse and whether he's right or wrong. I want to deal with something he said about the NRA and how it just encapsulates everything I've said about them for so long. How they are such a false organization. They are not about gun rights. They are not about protecting people who believe in gun rights. They're not about protecting the Constitution or their members. Kyle Rittenhouse was asked, how much help did the NRA give you during your criminal trial, and how much help are they giving you now during your civil trials? And he said, absolutely none. They're not helping at all. They don't even want to be involved. It's bad publicity. It's not going to make them any money. It would actually probably cost them money, because if they help, they'd have to give him money for his defense, etc. And this just kind of encapsulates everything I've always said about the NRA, the GOA, etc. They go out there and they fundraise on these things. You remember how many emails you got from the NRA talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and asking you to give them money, and how they were needing to defend this kid and defend the Second Amendment, and that it was imperative that they got more money, more money, more money, more money. Well, I remember those. I remember tons of them. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA, unfortunately. So I still get that stuff. And I remember them fundraising off of it like crazy. But then to hear it from his own mouth that they didn't help at all. That should tell people out there what these big organizations are about. The GOA, the NRA, etc., and especially the NRA. They're about making money. They're about empowering the people in charge. They're about creating a special elite status for certain people that are members and executives, etc., of these organizations. And they're about making money so that they can pay these people. That's why people like, Military Arms Channels, other gun channels jumped on that GOA bandwagon, because money, money, money. I stayed as far away from them as I could, just like I did the NRA. Remember, I was telling you all about the NRA back when those same channels were money, 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 and taking their money and promoting them. And I was like, do not give them money. Do not promote them. Same thing with the GOA. I'm saying the same thing. And one day you'll find out I'm right, unfortunately. And that the same money grabbers are still just money grabbers. Not one of them, including Hickok, ever denounced the NRA until the checks stopped clearing. And this is just a perfect example of, like I said, how these organizations are all about just getting money, but not doing anything. I see it all the time as an activist here in the state of Washington, and when I was working in the state of Oregon. These organizations come in, they have a little meeting, they raise a bunch of money, they even tell you how to direct people to give them money, and then they give little, if any, of what they actually bring into the actual cause. Which is why I don't like these organizations. And then they'll do something like, okay, hey, they'll talk to the local organization that's actually doing the fight, and they'll say, hey, we're going to come in and raise $1 million, and we'll give you $10,000. And if you say anything bad about us, you won't even get the $10,000, and we won't do it again for you. And we won't advertise you in our products, and blah, blah, blah. So it's a fucking extortion racket. That's why you don't really hear negative things said about the NRA by the people that are actually trying to fight the fights. Because they don't want to be slammed. They don't want to be cut off from access for advertising. And they want to get at least the little bit of money the NRA is going to give them. That's why I've always said, give money directly to the organizations in the state that's actually fighting the fight. I'm a firm believer of that. Like here in the state of Washington, I give to the Second Amendment Foundation. Because they're here, they're actually fighting the fights. They don't raise $1 million, give us a pittance of it, and then go back to their mansions in another state. So find the organizations in the states where the fights are being fought and donate to them, because you got it right from the horse's mouth here from Kyle Rittenhouse. They didn't help at all. And I think we all know how much money they raised off that. So like I said, that just encapsulates the whole argument against these organizations. We live in a country now where we're all completely connected. We don't need these national organizations that are siphoning off 90-95% of the money into their own pockets because we don't know what's going on in other states. Right now, we know everything that goes on everywhere because we're all connected. I have a live chat every night at 6 p.m. where we can all get together and talk about what's going on in our state. That didn't used to be the case. That's the case now. We don't need these big organizations. Fight on the state level. If there's a fight going on in California, donate to the organizations like the California Rifle Association, whatever they're called, that are actually fighting the fight. If there's a fight going on in New Jersey, donate to those organizations. Stop giving to the organizations like the GOA, the NRA, because they're all about the talk and making the money. They never walk the walk. And like I said, you got to hear straight from the horse's mouth, Kyle Rittenhouse. Because if they didn't help there, where are they helping? And the answer is pretty much nowhere. They're helping pad their own pockets. They're padding the pockets of politicians. But when it comes to fighting for the Second Amendment, they don't do much of that at all, because that costs money. It doesn't make money.